Introducing YouTube memberships, a fun way to support the channel while getting some exclusive perks. Click the join button to become a member now and get benefits like badges next to your name on videos, behind-the-scenes photos, advantages during the live trivia game, discounts on merchandise, private one-on-one video chats, the ability to request future video topics, and exclusive 8 to 10 minute videos on the history of the NFL. And now, on with our feature presentation. September 17th, 2023. It's week 2 of the NFL season, and we've got an NFC West battle on our hands in California between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. For the 49ers, this is the first time they're playing at home all season after playing on the road the previous week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, wait, this was a road game for them? Seriously? But the whole stadium is red. This is a road game? Okay then. Anyways, both the 49ers and Rams enter this game with perfect and identical 1-0 records, with the 49ers coming off of a road win against the Steelers, and the Rams coming off of a divisional road win against the Seattle Seahawks. So the winner of this game not only takes first place in the NFC West, but has a great chance to make the playoffs, even though it's early on. I talked about this in yesterday's video, so you can learn more about that by clicking the card in the upper right corner, but long story short, 83% of all teams to start 2-0 since the playoffs expanded to 7 teams in each conference in 2020, or 5 out of every 6, ended up making the playoffs. So if you win this game and get off to the perfect start through 2 weeks, you really put yourself in a good spot. And for the 49ers, this game was playing out very similarly to just about every single matchup between Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, which is to say that the 49ers were the team out in front. The Rams put up quite the fight, and no one is going to deny that. But the 49ers were just the better team on this day, especially in the second half. They won the turnover battle by 2. They were dominant on the ground, with Christian McCaffrey running for 116 yards and a touchdown, and with the team punching it in 3 times on the ground by averaging a whopping 5.7 yards per carry. Anytime you force Matthew Stafford to throw the football 55 times, usually that means you're in a pretty good spot. And the Rams, after scoring on each of their first 3 drives of the contest, were just completely held in check during the second half. With just under 2 minutes left in the game, the 49ers were up by 10 and looked to have this game won. But obviously, crazy things have happened. This is the NFL that we're talking about. It ain't over until the clock hits triple zeros. The Rams need to score twice, and need to do it relatively quickly, but it is absolutely possible. Likely? No, but possible? Yes. The good news for the Rams is that they drive down the field and find themselves at San Francisco's 45-yard line with about 41 seconds left in the contest. The bad news is that they have no timeouts, and they took an awfully long time getting there. Faced with the 2nd and 10 situation, Stafford completes an 8-yard pass, just dumping it off and taking what's given to him. Alright, you got into possible field goal range for Brett Maher, which is good. But the clock is running, and you're running out of time. You've got to move quickly, and you've got to figure something out. Spike the ball and try the 54-yard field goal from here. Quick little out route to get a tiny bit closer. A deep shot on a 4-verts play to try and get the touchdown right here. And then if you don't get it, you can kick it on 4th down. Whatever you do here, you just have to do something that does not go over the middle of the field. You've got a ton of options at your disposal. Just don't do what you absolutely cannot do, since it will end the game. Who am I kidding? We already know what's going to happen.
3rd and 2. Stafford again over the middle, 1st down, inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. Not sure you're going to have any time afterwards. This should take it to 0, and then you don't have any time for the onside kick to try to get it back.
Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something to look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where a gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay. Obviously, McVay is a great head coach. He's a Super Bowl champion who has largely been fantastic with the Rams, and he's played a big part in turning that team around from just how bad they were before they moved to Los Angeles. I've talked about McVay in a previous video of mine, so if you do want to learn more about that, you can do so by clicking the card in the upper right corner. But this moment right here, honestly, it makes me wonder if the Rams ever practice 2-minute drill situations. Because holy cow, this was bad. Like, laughably bad. So with that being said, let's take a look at why calling a passing play over the middle of the field with 20 seconds left and no timeouts when you're down by 10 points is a really bad idea. In a situation like this, it's fairly obvious that you need 2 scores. You need to get a touchdown and a field goal. Obviously, it's going to be hard to do that. You've got to score, recover an onside kick, which is already hard enough with the rules being the way they are today, and then you've got to score again, with one of those 2 aforementioned scores being something to the end zone. To do all of that in 20 seconds is very hard. It can be done. We've seen it before, and we saw it with the game between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears back in 2001, but obviously, it's more likely than not that you will not be able to pull this off. But still, you want to give yourself a fighting chance at that, and it boils down to the fact that when you break it down, you need a touchdown and a field goal in 20 seconds. With 3rd and 2, you have 2 real options here. The first option is to call a deep shot to the end zone. If you get it, great. That takes 5 seconds off the clock, and you are now down 3 after the extra point. If you don't get it, there's 15 seconds left, and you can line up for a field goal from 54 yards out. The kick will probably take it down to 10 seconds, you get the kick to go, and then you try an onside kick. And if you recover the kick, you've got 2 plays to take a shot to the end zone on a Hail Mary. The second option is, to be honest, what I would have done, and what I was screaming at the TV for the Rams to do. You spike the ball on 3rd down with 20 seconds left to stop the clock, and you line up for the field goal. Make the field goal, and now you're onside kicking it with 15 seconds left. And if you recover, you've got time for 2 plays to the sideline before a shot at the end zone, or maybe 3 plays to the end zone. Either way, it works. Either way, you have time for 3 plays in the 20-second stretch, excluding the field goal and the onside kick. The yardage is absolutely irrelevant in terms of the first down, or not, or getting any closer. You have to get a field goal and a touchdown, and you have limited time to do it. That means you need to put yourself in a position to maximize the number of plays that you have to get 10 points in 20 seconds. Which is why you don't do whatever the heck you ended up doing. I mean, what the heck is this? You call a play over the middle in a short yardage situation. The pro is that you get the first down. Whoop-de-doo. But guess what? The first down is irrelevant. So what if you get the first down? It wasn't 4th down. You're keeping the ball either way. Only this time, you have no timeouts to stop the clock. So you're ending the game. The con is obvious. The clock runs out, you have no time left to do anything really, and sure, you might be able to get a field goal that hurts bettors everywhere since the spread was 49ers by 7.5 points, and you might make the game a bit closer. But in terms of your actual objective of winning the game, you do absolutely nothing. How does a play like this improve your chances of winning? The only thing it does is that it makes the field goal closer for Brett Maher. But again, that's kind of irrelevant when you're already in field goal range, when you're down by 2 scores, and you call a play knowing that if it's caught, you won't have time for anything else but said field goal. And it wasn't even like this was a bad read by Stafford or anything like that. Again, this series is about coaches. If the player made a bad decision, that's different. But come on, like seriously, what the heck are these routes? When Stafford lets go of the football, you have 5 players going out for a pass. One of them is a running back running a route behind the line of scrimmage, which is not going to do anything for you. The other 4 are running to the same spot over the middle of the field. Not a single one is even running a route to the sideline. Not a single one is going to the end zone. Not a single one of them is running a route where you have a legitimate chance to score or a chance to stop the clock. What is this concept? I'm not even kidding or exaggerating when I ask this question. Do you practice 2-minute hurry-up drills? Like, at all? Instead of playing to the sideline to stop the clock, a deep shot to the end zone, or spiking the ball to stop the clock right away, this is what you call? You call a play where 4 guys are running to the same spot over the middle, which the 49ers are happy to give you because if you catch the ball, you have no time to make up 2 scores? This is embarrassing. This is pathetic. This play does not serve your objective of trying to win the football game. All it does is that it makes a field goal closer. But even if you make the field goal, you left yourself no time to achieve the other score in the 2-score comeback. You had 2, maybe 3 realistic options here. Sideline play to get more yards on a field goal, deep shot to go for the touchdown since you're already in field goal range, or spike the ball and clock it to give yourself some extra time should you recover the onside kick. To try this absolutely insane 4th option. I mean, seriously, what was the objective here? This is as poor of a play down by 2 scores in a somewhat winnable game as I have ever seen. You went from having a minuscule chance of winning, but still somewhat of a chance because we've seen things happen before, to a 0.0% chance at winning. Unbelievable. Now, before I wrap all this up, I have to address the elephant in the room. Like I said before, in the game between these 2 teams behind me, the spread was 7.5 points in favor of the 49ers. No, Sean McVay did not know the spread. No, he did not have any money on the game. And no, he did not intentionally screw over bettors when he tried a field goal with 4 seconds left to cut it to a 7-point game. That is insane, and that is ridiculous. I can think of a million reasons that are purely legitimately football-related why he would kick the field goal in that situation. But the fact that that kick was the final play of the game and not an onside kick or anything after the onside kick, that is just pathetic. Seriously, Sean McVay, do you practice 2-minute drill situations? Because that was one of the worst I've ever seen in that situation. So what do we learn from all of this? If you're down by 2 scores, then you need to call plays that allow you to make up the 2 scores, which means calling plays that can get you possession of the football back and have time to do something after that. You have to think many plays ahead. If you have no timeouts and you're down by 10 and time is running out, then don't throw a pass over the middle of the field. If the defense is going to give you an easy completion, odds are there's a reason for that. If you're better off dropping the ball versus catching the ball, odds are the play is a garbage play for the situation. If your route concept involves everyone running to the same spot over the middle of the field where the clock will run no matter what, then get a new play. And you really need to practice 2-minute drill scenarios because you at least want to give yourself a fighting chance in a game like this instead of doing, well, whatever the heck this was. Because when all of these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Get your official Jaguar Gear 9 merchandise by going to jj9shop.com and be sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out a lot. Join me every Wednesday night where we'll play NFL Trivia for cash prizes at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. To learn more about the history of college football, subscribe to Jaguar Gator 8. To learn more about the history of Major League Baseball, subscribe to Jaguar Gator 7. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.